In 1993, a movie based on the Super Mario Bros. Video game series was released into theaters and got legendarily smacked down by Jurassic Park. Both movies dealing heavily with dinosaurs, and only one of them getting loads of mainstream recognition for its groundbreaking visual effects. Well, truth be told, there actually is one dinosaur in Mario Bros. The movie that I think people should talk about when comparing both films. Because the animatronic and puppet effects of Yoshi happen to be some of the best practical effects work that I think Hollywood could bring back in a very big way. So before we go any further, I should explain to those that haven't seen this film that the Super Mario Bros. Movie tries really hard to make every one of the video game characters as realistic as it possibly can. For example, my video on King Koopa, or Bowser as he's more popularly known, happened to be designed as a really scary mutant de-evolved Tyrannosaurus Rex freak that carried over with the artist's work in the 1998 Godzilla remake. This is a Goomba in the games. This is a Goomba in the movie. This is a Babam. This is one from the movie. And now all of you know what Yoshi looks like. Well, here's what he looked like in the film, made all realistic and cool for us to see.
Mario Brothers also had a T-Rex, albeit on a smaller scale.
On a side note, one of the things I always questioned while watching this film was how in the hell anyone was ever supposed to ride Yoshi, but hey, when it comes to the actual special effects, many people have noted how this dinosaur actually looks really good, which is cool because all of it was basically done with real-world practical effects on set, which of course couldn't be easy because no less than 9 people had to help control the dinosaur when he was moving around and performing in front of the actors. And back in those times, you'd need a lot of wires and cables that stuck out of the animal in order for it to properly move, so usually you'd have to hide those while you're filming the movie. But no, Mario Brothers is kind of cool because they were able to edit out the cables in a similar way to what I'd imagine Steven Spielberg did with the Compsognathus effects from Stan Winston on The Lost World. The big difference is the compies only have a limited range of motion and just kind of hop around unless they're created with CGI, whereas Yoshi's legs move more fluidly and his upper body has a way larger range of dynamic motion. Obviously, this is because he's still supposed to be the fun little dinosaur from the games and not a grounded real-world animal clone, but still, the actual utilization of this special effect is extremely impressive, even by today's standards in my opinion.
Yoshi is a pet of the royal family. You may pet him. Just don't move your hands around like a small wounded animal.
It's so impressive, in fact, that Universal actually had a few people check out the team that worked on Yoshi in Super Mario Bros. For the second Jurassic Park film, but you know, Steven Spielberg was like, no, let's keep it all in one house and stay with Stan Winston, even though you've got to admit, if you've got the producers from Jurassic Park stopping by to check out what your dinosaur did in the movie, then that's kind of a big deal.
Was to cram nearly 200 feet of cable and several hundred moving parts into Yoshi's 3-foot-tall body.
Now, while I do think that Yoshi could have been utilized better in the final product, the way in which the filmmakers were able to make him act on screen has always been really interesting to me. And keep in mind, this movie came out nearly 30 years ago, and I still think it could have used more of Yoshi. During the 2010s, there was kind of a small resurgence of this kind of special effect in movies, with Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom even blending animatronics and puppet effects with CGI, which I personally think worked really well. However, Super Mario Bros. Did have a really cool thing going for it with the Yoshi design and presentation through that animatronic. And again, this was all done without the help of CGI on the actual models. So what you're getting is basically this really fluid looking reptile that walks realistically without any of those cables showing and destroying the illusion. Now, I said that I think this kind of technique could be utilized again today because with the advancements that we've had in CGI over the course of the last 3 decades, I'd imagine you could make creatures act and move even more realistically with some sort of similar implementation. I will make a point that while I've always understood why Super Mario Bros. Has a bad reputation, I can't lie and say that things like the set decoration, creature design, and overall look of the world in which they built, I can't say that wasn't done well. Sure, it takes the Mario video games and moves them into a really weird direction, but without it, we wouldn't have this extremely impressive Yoshi effect, which I honestly think makes for one of the most memorable scenes in the film. And look, honestly, if they can make small Carnotaurs or Baryonyx look like that in a future Jurassic World, building this really articulate special effect, maybe even getting Legacy Effects, who is, as you all know, worked on Jurassic World and Battle at Big Rock, I just think they could make really cool stuff this way. But anyways, guys, these are all just my own thoughts about this rarely talked about dinosaur effect that nobody seems to bring up outside of hardcore fans of this negatively received movie. But hey, what do all of you guys think? What's your opinions on Yoshi in the Super Mario Bros. Film? And would you like to see special effects like this return? Personally, I think it'd be a great idea, but hey, whatever your own opinions happen to be, I'd love to hear them in the comments down below.